All right, well, we are just about ready to jump into things. We'll take a look at the agent compositions. You can see you've got the Omen, Jet, Cypher, Sova, and Phoenix play coming in from TSM. The Phoenix going to be, of course, none other than Drone. And Cutler's on the Sova, Hazed on the Cypher. Again, TSM constantly on the agent role juggle. Sean picking up the Reyna here, which I love to see. He'll also play as the Sova from time to time, but I really like the way that Sean plays that role. Here they go fast towards the C site. They've already met with Sabrosa, who's found two from around the default box. The Cyber Cage is up and gives them a bit of cover, but there's a heal coming in for the Reyna. Still on site is Hazed, able to pick off one before being traded out by Gimon. And it's going to result in a 2-on-3 numbers advantage for TSM as they come in on the retake. Shock Dart comes into position, but won't interrupt the plant. So the spike will go down. And again, it's down to 2. There's the Al drone going in first, spawning away positions. You've got Gimon very low on HP, just 9 hit points, trying to survive. Down goes his teammate, all up to Gimon, and there's just no way. TSM retake the site with 3 surviving and a masterful pistol round.
So that's going to be the round coming in for TSM. It's going to be an upgraded round for TSM too. We don't really see them trying to keep up with the Ghosts. They're already going with the Spectres. And they're looking to play for some map control towards long A to start things off. They're leaving C. Look how passive C is. They didn't even put trap wires in the main like C main that they want to. It all goes down towards the C site in case people are trying to push further into the site first. So while wanting to play retake for C, they're really putting a lot of pressure towards his mid side in A.
That Shock Dart, had it gotten around the corner and through the doorway, might have resulted in a kill. There's Hazed playing close. Great paranoia to open it up as well. A little extra staying power complements of the flash, and Hazed as the Cypher popping off in Garage currently. Wants another one as well as MkaeL is around the corner. The classic though will result in his demise, as does the shotgun for huynh, picking up the kill onto Cutler. 3 players survive though yet again for TSM.
And Gen G deciding for these few rounds, the past few rounds, every single time had read things correctly, where they're like always going towards the opposite round of where the pressure is. But that Al drone's gonna give out their position, and drone peeks out, but he's only good for one. Traded off by MkaeL as they're pushing inside the site. It's gonna be hard for Hazed to hold it off. He gets paranoid, but still gets the kill onto huynh. As now through the Cyber Cage gets the second one, and a third one up to GMD at the graffiti.
I know exactly
where gonna be just the last man standing. Kind of a neuro theft. You know, it's not wasted in the eyes of TSM because they just want to make sure that they secure the round, and it's gonna be PL1 trying to save his weapon for the rest.
Player 1 does get a nice pick off there on the Sabrosa, and with the time being what it is, there's the neural theft coming through. Feeling pretty confident to go for that peek, hoping to catch Wardell off guard. Not gonna be the case today.
I was going to say, that's a missed Cyber Cage. That could have been an easy kill there for Wardell, but he lets one slip through, and that's going to be MkaeL that's going to drone out the site. With that, though, they're still not pushing forward because they're looking for control inside Garage, where huynh gets the pick on the Hazed. That's huge right now.
huynh now getting an upgrade. Cutler picks off player 1 with the Hunter's Fury. There's a paranoia coming out. They dash out onto the site. huynh managed to make it up. There's one right to his right. This is so awkward. But Sabrosa just sticks around and waits, and oh, that's perfect. Well played from Sabrosa, and they just never spotted him. Great paranoia coming out, but it actually goes just wide of Gimon, who will now tap that spike and try to bait out some shots. The Phantom in the hands of Gimon. He's got 45 seconds on the clock to work with.
But that means it's going to be an easy and open site here for
10 seconds left.
Add 300 credits for the rest of the team. What I liked at least from TSM was Sabrosa's play. Just a small mistake from Gen G that ended up being super costly, where you capitalized on 2 kills for Sabrosa and didn't allow them to get a plan. So let's see if GMD could get this clutch.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah.
30 seconds left.
Gen G, again, falling back and beginning a recommitment towards A. One of the slower plays that we've seen from Gen G so far. huyhn's going to drop a smoke down and try to push on through. The ult being popped does allow the Omen to get into heaven,
left.
but they've still got Phoenix in hell. You've got drones still on site, but they didn't even see him. Somehow not spotted, and everything falls apart. A flawless round from TSM. Like the aggressive play coming out from Gen G, and it's been left unchecked. Now Wardell is here, but Wardell doesn't really have the firepower you would want, given what's happening currently. Wardell's holding just a ghost. He does have full armor at least, but things could get ugly real fast here for Wardell. There's the smoke coming in, but he's just prepared, too aware of what's coming that direction. He some backup though. The Cloudburst comes out at a bad time, but it's
Man.
Drone who just mops up 4 kills for the Phoenix.
Thankfully, though, even if Wardell died, he only had to go 2, so no real upgrade for Gen G.
Here comes the lead into the C site, and it starts with drones run it back. They dash in as well with Jet, so that's Wardell flying into position. Kills going back and forth in both directions, but it is going to be TSM who comes out on top of those fights. And now it's down to just 2 yet again here for Gen G. They have a massive disadvantage as the C site has proved to be somewhat difficult for them to hold.
Planted.
In the first full buy round of the second half. MkaeL knows there's one. You can see the pings coming down. Waiting on the other side of that door is Hazed. It's all about who's going to be more patient here, and patience doesn't really have anything to do with it in the end. It just ends up being a battle of who's got more health. It's now down to Sean. He picked up an ace the final round of the first half, but not able to repeat that success here. 10 rounds, double digits for TSM.
But at least they have this map point. It's 12-6, and it's also a broken economy for Gen G. Because
No more meddling.
Sabrosa picks off the first of the defense. Player 1 does do significant damage, and additional damage dealt as well to Cypher. Sabrosa finding another kill on huynh as he clips the bullets through the wall. Gimon, yeah, he'll hear it, spots out the positional change coming in from Sabrosa. And that's at least a nice opportunity for Gen G to try and find a bit of an opening. Again though, they're at the disadvantage, and even more so, I don't think they realize that Cutler has actually made it out onto C.
Yeah.
He's up on top of the stacks in the corner. The rest of the team is starting to make their way out, and they're going to secure the spike. Now, Gimon is stuck in a really difficult position because he's got players coming in potentially through doors. That's Drone, who's sitting on the back end of the play, and then he's got players waiting for him in the C side as well. So he really needs his teammates coming in from spawn to put pressure on TSM.
One enemy remaining.
But it's a trade-off and an advantage for TSM. So it's leaving only one more player, and he gets picked off by Wardell. And TSM will take this first map 13-6 on Haven versus Gen G.
huynh and Wardell not swapping away. Drone leaning towards the breach this time around. Cutler and Hazed, who have swapped roles a bit, with Cutler now playing Sova and Hazed typically playing Cypher. We see kind of a change back to a certain regard with Cutler now switching to Killjoy on this map. And I will say this, TSM has been one of those teams that it's probably frustrating to play because of the fact that you don't really know what you're going to get from them until you get it from them, at least once in a tournament. They constantly change things up. Speaking of changing things up, it's a fastball play coming out from Gen G, but it doesn't work out so well for them. They gain early access to the site, but it gets crushed as the defense is waiting for them. And it's now down to just 3 for Gen G.
It's well played there for TSM to hold things off to start. I mean, getting the poison cloud and then putting the snake back on the ground only allows huynh to actually get through. But at the same time, you had Sabrosa that threw a paranoia to counter up anybody else that's trying to push forward, so they had to fall back again. So they did a great job split up the push, and then they just go in for the push themselves for the last kill. So that's a nice flawless round in their favor.
Off the bat, they get a little aggressive in mid, starting to peek past the smoke that's down. The fault line coming out. Wardell's waiting on the other side of this one, and huynh got the read. Just knows the way that Wardell loves to play it. And now you've got an isolated fight with the Viper. But somehow, not that much damage dealt to Hazed. He comes out on top of the exchange. He's down on 72, sure, but look at the Jet who took the fight with him. Down in the red. Now that's a nice nade coming out as that catches Sabrosa going for a deep and dark cover towards lower mid. But it looks like we're going to see a shift from Gen G. They're going to start working towards this A site, and it is a minefield, as there is a lot of utility set up from Cutler there, the turret. And of course, that digital molly, as it's been referred to, as it's been coined by Rivington, the nano swarm, the alarm bot. And of course, you've also got the breach here ready and willing to slow things down. There's the flashes coming out as they start to make their push. Drone has to go big, as they've already got one up in heaven. Nice flick
30
over
seconds
from
left.
Sabrosa with the off, but now they flash out as they try and slow this down even more. Drones in position with a Spectre, able to gun down MkaeL. The battle goes back and forth, but it's TSM who manages to bring it down to a 2-on-2, and the clock is on their side. 15 seconds left, and Drone's still here on the site. They haven't been able to start the spike plant.
10 seconds left.
GMD's on a 2 versus 1. Really, he's just got to look into the side. He's looking to at least try to go for a
One player standing.
but he hears the footsteps across the board, and that's it. They're going to win on something for TSM, and that is a Herculean hold for Drone inside that site. But the Spectre from Drone.
Wardell wisely gets into a better position. The paranoia actually finds huynh, but it's nearsightedness, so he can still see that close target and ends up using the Blade Storm masterfully. Player one spots out the alarm bot waiting around the corner. They're going to shift over to A, where again they've got a contest with Drone, and I believe Drone was spotted by player one. Yeah, you can see the line hold right there, and a great dink shot through the wall from player one means that this A site is now opened up. There is still some Killjoy utility here, including the turret and the nano swarms, but it's a little bit late on the deployment of those nano swarms, so they actually get past and take no damage. It will be a 2-on-3. Cutler and Hazed working together to try to get back into this A site. Got some damage dealt to that Cypher, who's currently sitting in the cubby on long. They take out the tripwire, and they'll be moving into position to contest with player one.
They found my wife.
Or at least he, unfortunately, actually does not get the kill onto Hazed. So Hazed dispatches him with the headshot, and they're moving inside that site. It's down to a 2 versus 2. They can't really do anything else. It's not that useful, but Hazed continues to walk forward, gets the headshot to win, and Cutler with the last one as well. No utilities needed. Just walk silently, see them peek out, get the kills and the defuse to make it 4 unanswered rounds. I thought it was going to be the round coming in for Gen G at that point. Despite them having the utilities for the retake, you just had to try to land your shot against that key player from Gen G, which they did.
Quick shots coming out from huynh after we saw Cutler pick things up first. Gen G bring us back to 3-on-3. There's the ult, sending Sabrosa into attacker spawn. They're going to watch their flank, though. They got to keep an eye on their 6th. Now, Hazed is still in position. With all the utility that's laid down from their Killjoy, they have some things they still have to work through, despite the fact that Cutler is watching, not currently alive. That utility still remains. Most concerning, obviously, the alarm bot, which is waiting right around the corner. Do they spot it? Well, no, it does get triggered, and it gives away the play towards Heaven. They've still got Sabrosa on the flank. They've got Hazed here as well, but Wardell, watching that line. Missed shot from huynh, though, and a rare miss at that. That puts the attackers in a really weird position. They have to run to this B site, where now they're going to be wandering into Wardell, who's got the knives
10
out.
seconds left.
He's waiting for them. He's ready. Does he hit the place? There's the first one going his way. The smoke comes down, but Wardell with the jumping knife from the Blade Storm produces success for TSM yet again. They faltered once, but they find themselves back on top as kings on the scoreboard.
That's able to play on the top of that catwalk and get those kills. Ace early this round, though, is getting tagged. He's forced to fall back, but it's going to be Sabrosa. A nice bait and switch and an early 5-on-4 on his Eagle for TSM.
Early advantage for TSM. Not something that Gen G wants to see happen. Trying to build up some momentum after falling a little bit flat the first few rounds. Again, though, it is split. It's still defense-sided. Maybe the numbers have changed a bit, but I would like to believe that that fact still remains the same. Now, they do have the Killjoy ult for TSM lockdown. Gonna make it difficult for them to move. Now, player one has picked off Drone. You could hear the long-range Sheriff shot come out, but it was off the mark. Player one's going to be backing off. They're going to be heading back towards B. There's Rolling Thunder coming into that B
30
site.
seconds
Paranoia
left.
as well. Flashpoint in. They're not taking anything for granted. They're going to take this just as if this was a full buy coming in from TSM.
Spike planted.
And they'll get the spike down as well. Now, Sabrosa's got a good line of sight, and that's player one falling. That's a rifle pickup for Sabrosa, a player you don't want to give that to, but gets caught going for the Paranoia as Iman is ready. Now there is that Killjoy ult lockdown being popped from Cutler. But they can get away from this one and still play towards the spike. You can see their jet now escaping into B main. They'll try to make it back out. Spike is open, planted for them. Hazed with a nice shot onto MkaeL. And that work down from the Viper makes it difficult. They're going to keep working their way in, but it's come down to a 2-on-2. The spike being stuck. They've actually managed to make it work. The thrifty round comes through. All will perish, but it doesn't matter. It's a 6th round on the scoreboard for TSM.
And as they run back through B main, Hazed puts up the toxic cloud. So that, or the poison cloud rather, that doesn't allow anybody to push back forward and also getting decay when you're looking for the kill. So that was beautiful in that eco.
Right off the bat, there's an early fight that gives both teams a different number of players remaining. It's a 4-on-4. You've got the Viper Pit again for TSM. We'll see where they decide to use it this time, if they use it at all. Drone in position, as always, but there's some backup this time around. We've talked about how Drone was often isolated and alone on this site, but this time around, he's got support. It's Cutler who's in position. The flashbang's coming up from Drone, trying to help slow things down. Look at the flashback utilization from Sean. He flies into position, but he wasn't prepared for this. Was not ready for help when he was waiting in the corner. Great flash as well coming out from Drone. And now it's down to Kimon. Can't really do much to survive in the round. So a solid shift of defense right now for TSM to put Killjoy over on A with Drone, and it works out nicely.
But so far, what I really like here from TSM is the rounds where they just don't want to give any pacing to Gen G. They always push so aggressively at that mid side, where Wardell gets a kill or two before he dies, and it's good enough because it gives that information away. This time, they tried to go aggressively from the A side on Gen G, but Wardell rotated from the rope side and was able to win that fight versus Win that went for the right click with the knives and didn't pay off. The rest of them are on eco, and he's on low HP at 2 HP right now for Win. So it's going to be very hard for Gen G to try to rotate back from ropes over to this B side.
Kill.
Wardell picking off Win, spamming through the wall, actually gets the flick back with a straight transfer. It's Sabrosa who comes in and offers up some support, but it's a 3K on the round for Wardell. Probably feeling like he didn't need it, even though he's certainly received a heaping amount of damage on the round. MkaeL has the spike, but unfortunately also has a Guardian. Not exactly the weapon of choice for most players currently.
30 seconds
Spam
left.
shots through, not gonna connect. And now he's trapped, trying to fight his way out of this scenario. There's one coming in on the flank as well. He still has Paranoia. Blow past. Nice shot onto Wardell, who is very low on HP. MkaeL does get scratched up as well in the fight. Paranoia going back, but it's not going to be enough. It's a little bit to the left, and Sabrosa will survive.
So if they lose the round, they're going to be broken for the rest of the game pretty much. And the chances are going to be even greater for TSM to take the series. So they have to play a bit more aggressively. MkaeL starts that way, and Hayes picks him off. But at least, oh no, not at least actually. It was a nice combo from a Drone and to Sabrosa to get the flashpoint, for Sabrosa to get through, and more map control. So unfortunately for them here, they lose 2 players early, and Sean's already down to 9 HP. The chances look super grim here for Gen G to try to take this round on this bonus.
Lot of weight being shifted towards A currently from TSM. Toxic screen goes down. Sabrosa is a lurking threat at the bottom of ropes as the team now starts to make their way out. There's the nade coming in. That's the tell. There's one around the corner. Sean is so low on HP, it's an easy kill. Kimon around from elbow, but not really able to do much there. Player 1 is now the last one standing. TSM look really good in the first full buy round. A flawless victory. 2 players taking damage enough that you can even see it. 1 more getting scratched up as well, but it's 11 rounds on the board for TSM.
Placing alarm bot.
Sabrosa picking off Huynh,
Cover going out.
giving the advantage to TSM. Drone's pretty low on HP. MkaeL just times it well and executes his doppelganger to bring us back to even strength. But again, with the HP, what it is, it's gonna be tough for Drone to have much of an impact. It's all gonna be in the backup from Drone. The flashes, and of course, the fault lines that come through. There they go, working their way out onto the site. The cyber cage doesn't slow him down as Wardell blows right past it. MkaeL has the presence of mind to keep his eyes on the prize being that section of Kabi back behind him. It's now a 3-on-2. TSM looking rough currently as Cutler is really gonna have to do a lot of this
30
fighting.
seconds
Drone
left.
with just 11 HP takes down another target. That's Sean falling as well. That's huge, and that not only does his rifle deal damage, but as the raise, he's also got
One
potential
player
paint shells.
standing. Last player
It's come
standing.
down though to a one-on-one. Cutler's on 11 HP as MkaeL quickly picks up the frag onto Drone, goes for the tap plant, tries to bait
10
out
seconds
the play.
left.
But Cutler has to dedicate to the plant in a moment. He's still playing with that clock, trying to bait out his opposition, and now he goes for the dedication. No, he's baited him out!
insane.
It's a huge play! A 5-head, 900 IQ play coming in from Cutler. It's both equally
Match
stupid
point.
and smart at the same time, and it works out for TSM.
Cutler winning that one for the team, but a great play display from Cutler and Drone himself. We mentioned how Drone had low HP. He still was able to get an entry to make it a 2 versus 2 in the end, and then he went back. The only thing he had left was a aftershock, and he cleared out hell. He cleared up the possibilities of where the last player was going from. So at that point, Cutler had to only focus towards heaven or towards spawn, and they know how desperate Gen G is to win these rounds. They know he has to press forward. They don't want to let TSM to get a spike plan or even get, let alone win the round. So he knew that MkaeL was going to push out, and somehow, or GMD rather, and somehow he just gets that big play from Cutler to clutch that 1 versus 1.
That's brutal. There's a nice pickup as well coming in from Wardell, spamming through the sign.
Blocking sight.
But there's trades coming back in for Gen G, working with suboptimal machine guns of the sub-machine gun variety. And it's worked out for them. Now Huynh's in position, there's the flashpoint through the cloudburst, making it hard to spot his target, but Wardell eventually breaks past that spiraling smoke and brings us to this point.
One player
MkaeL
standing.
going big right now, but it's all up to Sean. Sean has been lights out all series long. He's got one target beneath, but no!
Attacker
The ball
wins.
takes the stinger and sends its recoil flying. TSM will walk away from the first strike Open Qualifiers as the number 3 seed.